to address the issues facing Tennesseans today. From 10 News, this is Inside Tennessee.
Good morning and welcome to a special edition of Inside Tennessee. On this Sunday morning, we have an expanded panel for you. I'm John Becker in Studio D with Don Bosch, a Democrat, Alvin Nance, a Republican. You see in the stateroom there my colleague John North with Republican Susan Richardson Williams, as well as Democrat Billy Stair. Analysis from all of them in moments. First, the governor's race. This is what we're looking at and the results of this highly contested battle to be the state's next governor in the GOP ranks. And digest this a second. We're going to get our analysts to break it down for us, but you can see Bill Lee in red there taking a huge swath of Middle Tennessee and then also some inroads into East Tennessee. One gold bright spot for Randy Boyd is Knox County there. You can see he did win his home county, but I'm going to send it to my colleague John North for more analysis from that crew, and we'll get back in Studio D in a moment. John?
Thanks, John, and good morning, everybody. All right, so we want to start out with Susan with the sort of the Republican angle. Susan, I'm going to spare you from having to walk across the state of Tennessee, okay, and I'm going to put that right there. Diane Black, she took Shelby County. What's up with that?
A long time ago, several months ago, Diane Black went to Shelby County and met with the big donors, long before any of the other people did, and quite a few of them committed to her. Now, does that get her votes? Not necessarily, but if you've got a lot of money coming out from big donors, and it sends a message that Diane's legitimate, that she has credibility. And I think, frankly, that's probably what happened there.
So, from a Republican perspective, regarding the gubernatorial race Thursday, share some of the highlights as you observe them, and we'll be using those magnets to kind of illustrate.
Yeah, we'll do that. Well, the first one that was shocking was Bill Lee carried Sumner
County. That's her county.
That's Diane Black's home county. And for the candidate not to carry your home county is very unusual, and it sends a very strong message about your credibility and about the kind of campaign you had. Randy Boyd carried our county, of course. He carried a lot of rural West Tennessee, all of that area in there. But interestingly, didn't carry Madison County, and that's where you have your largest population.
That's where Jackson is.
That's where Jackson is. And my goodness, that whole Middle Tennessee swath, that was for Bill Lee.
Yep.
That was the difference in the campaign. Randy would have had to carry all of these counties in East Tennessee to have overcome that, and he only carried Knox and a couple of counties up
Claiborne,
there.
I think,
yeah,
Scott, maybe a couple
counties
others.
right in here.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
the difference.
Billy, all right, from a Democratic perspective regarding Thursday night's gubernatorial race, talk about some of the keys as you saw them.
The first thing you have to begin with is how increasingly important not only Nashville, but the donut counties around Nashville have become. There are more than 1.5 million people now who live in that metropolitan area.
And growing.
And growing. And as the former mayor of Nashville, Carl Dean obviously had a tremendous head start and base. What it also tells us is that Craig Fitzhugh was from Lauderdale County. There was a time in the past when a rural candidate from Middle Tennessee or West Tennessee could probably hope to be a competitive candidate. Those days may be going. For Craig Fitzhugh to have any chance, he had to score well in some of these counties in the 1st district or the 3rd district. He didn't have the name recognition or the money really to play, and he lost everything in the Eastern time zone.
So now let's look ahead to the race that is about to, or is just now unfolding and will be through early November. Talk about some geographic highlights of what's to come, what we can anticipate from a Republican point of view.
In the governor's race.
In the governor's race.
Well, clearly the governor and the Republican nominee, Bill Lee, has got to sweep East Tennessee.
Can he do that?
That's critical. I think he can. He got a very strong vote from here, Hamilton County. He got all of this in here. He did okay in Knox County.
Yeah, he did.
He got all of that. I mean, that's astounding from a man that nobody knew 6 months ago in East Tennessee. He's clearly going to have some strength in middle, no question about that. I think he'll pick up that rural west that Randy Boyd got, and he'll do okay in Shelby County. Now, the Democrats clearly got to go for the urban areas.
Right. Billy, what do you think from the Democratic perspective? This is Democrat country, right?
Well, my perspective is it's all going to depend on Republican turnout. In several states this last year, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Georgia, Kansas, the Republican turnout was much lower than it has been in the past. If you look at Thursday night's election, the turnout by Republicans in Chattanooga was down 23%. The Republican turnout in Shelby County, Memphis, was down 9%. If those kinds of numbers repeat themselves statewide in November, it's going to be a race.
All right, John, that's kind of a geographic look at where we were with the gubernatorial race. We'll kick it back to you guys.
John, thanks very much. Okay, gentlemen, what issues will dominate this race for governor? Don, let's start with you from the Democrat side.
Economics, jobs, what Carl Dean knows and knew from Nashville, and education. Those are going to always be the touchstones from the Democrat side.
Alvin, how about you?
I agree with Don as well, too. And the one thing I would add to that, I think the opiate epidemic is going to be another issue that we're going to have to address in this state, because that's a big issue. And you know, whether you look at it from an expansion of some Medicare coverage or however you're going to deal with this, I think you're going to have to deal with the opiate epidemic that's going on in the state.
The interesting thing, Carl Dean will likely stay away from the social issues, guns, abortion, things like that. Will Bill Lee drive him to respond in his effort? And that'll be an interesting watch as this campaign goes on.
Both these gentlemen want to be CEO of a state with a $37 billion budget and 40,000 employees. We'll be back with more analysis of the Senate race right after this on Inside Tennessee.